Hello, everybody. It is 2:00 Eastern Standard Time, and we are ready to start our live. I am Christine Jossi of Mail Something Pretty, and I am just going to give it a few seconds to make sure that the links are up. I'm just reaching over to my computer to make sure. Oops. Gotta push the right button to make sure that we are live. Make sure we have the connection going on. Let's see. Here we go. All right, it is live. And if you join on, make sure you say hello in the comments or hi or I'm here or whatever, so I know that you are watching. It always makes it easier for me to film when I know there's an audience, because it's kind of weird just talking into my phone. But if I know people are there, it makes it much better. All right, looks like we got a couple people joining. So definitely let me know who's here, so I can say hi to you, and so you can say hi to each other. Okay, Nancy's here. Hey. All right, so we have some people. Perfect. I think you're going to like the project today. I'll show you. I hear a lot that people like to, they say, I have so much paper. I love the paper. I don't want to cut it, or I don't know what to do with it. Hi, Debbie. Happy Wednesday to you. So they have all this really pretty pattern paper, and then they don't know what to do with it. So I think this card may solve that problem. Great. Mary Lou's here. Karen's here. Perfect. Alrighty. Awesome. All right. So let me flip the camera over, because you don't really need to see me. You want to see what we're going to make. Let me flip this way. Give me a second because of the delay. Okay, I think you can see most of my workspace. I think that's pretty good. I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay, so I'll just show you this first. I'll show it at the end too, depending on when you join. I talked about this in my newsletter last week, and then my email this week. I'm running a mystery host party. Usually I do this a couple times a year at the end of the month, and just to kind of get some orders at the end of the month, but also to connect them. And so kind of like a party, right? In the old days when we had, when people like me would come over to your house and or Tupperware or whatever, we'd do like a party. And so people place an order, and all the orders get put together and towards the host, and the host gets benefits. So this is kind of an online version of that. And, no one has to clean their house. No one has to host anything. If you place an order in November, and it's important to use this host code, because that way it connects all those orders together as if it was a party order. I will randomly pull a name from all those people who placed an order, and whoever's names gets chosen will receive all the benefits of that quote-unquote party. So right now, the product benefit is up to $30. So we've had a couple of orders, and since it's running for the most of the month of November, it should get pretty high. So the more people order, the higher the benefits will be. And I'll send you something in the mail, even if you don't win. But anyways, that's what that is. So let me put that aside. I'll say that again at the end. And let's get going. All right, let's see. Oh, great. Laura's joining us. Hello, Laura. Perfect. All right, we got a good crowd on here today. All right, so I make cards for I make card kits, I should say, for our Council on Aging in our town. And stipend of policy is I cannot include any stamped images in the kits, which is sometimes challenging. But I work with it, and then I sometimes strategically purchase dies that don't really require words. So this is one of them. So this is the Aspen Tree dies. And, oh, I should have had this ready. It's in the holiday catalog. Let's see if I can find it quick. I should have had this ready. Should be in the fall section, so it shouldn't be too hard. I actually do not have the stamp set that goes with it. I only have the dies. Here we go. All right. So this is the stamp set that goes with it. But the cool thing about these dies is you don't necessarily need the stamp set. So I just wanted to show you where it was. So it has this really cool, say it better that way, birch tree, this huge cutout. And so I just think it's beautiful. And so we had, over the summer, there was summer celebration, I was calling it, and they had this paper, I think it was called Ring of Fire. And I thought it looked really pretty behind the birch trees. And so this is kind of the card. I call it, "Hello, Michelle from Wisconsin. Thanks for joining us." So I'm calling it, I kind of put out a post yesterday, like, what should I call it? And I needed a name that's searchable without going into details of all this search engine optimization stuff. When you guys search how to do something, you know, how to make a fun fold card or how to whatever, I wanted words that were kind of searchable. So I ended up doing a 2-layer, right, because it's 2 layers window card, because here's the window. So I'm just going to show you. And once I make it, you're going to be like, oh my God, that's so easy. But I think it's a great way of using your pattern paper. So you just have to make sure the pattern you're using, you like both sides for that particular card, because you're going to see both sides. So this is the one we did for the Carlton Aging. And the leaves are part of the, I can show you actually what's in the dies, is the birch. And I've seen a lot of people are doing different styles, like they're shading some of the birch trees, and they're making really pretty cards. There's 2 birch leaves, although I also think they look like aspen leaves for all of you who have aspen trees. There's a branch, and that's kind of to go with the bird from the stamp set. And then this one kind of goes with a stamp set. I don't remember what it was. It must have been flowers or leaves or something. And then this is a bird. So those are the dies that come with the set. But I really like the leaves and this birch one. Okay, so then I made this one, and this was just not for the class. This is just for me. I liked it. This paper was part of this pack, that Ring of Fire pack. So if you have it, this is a perfect paper for this aspen tree. And so then the inside was snowflakes. Okay, so those I had made a little while ago. But then, of course, I like to make other samples for you to see. So then I came up with this gnome card. So I used for the cutout, I think it's those diorama cutouts. I think that's all they're called, diorama. So you have like, I don't know, 10 of different, maybe not 10, but all those different layers of that diorama. So I used the Storybook Gnomes paper. So it has snowflakes on one side, little mushrooms on the other side. So this one, I cut out the gnome with scissors because I don't have the stamp set for this either. I only have the paper, but there is a stamp set and dies that go with it. I used a circle to kind of mount him on there because you would have seen, actually it's the same paper, you would have seen the back side of the paper since I cut him out. And added snowflakes. And hopefully you can see I actually also added the wood grain texture on that one. So you really can, you can cut and you can texturize. And then on this one I wanted to hide, right, that back side of that gnome. So I just put another circle, I cut out another gnome, and then I put a third gnome there. So again, it kind of focuses on this paper, but you can also make a center point on the front. Like, oh, I'm glad you like the idea. Mary Lou has the paper. All right, Mary Lou. Even if you don't have the birch tree, you'll see, like, you can use shapes. So this one I used the oval. You could totally use a circle or a rectangle or whatever shape you have. And it really focuses on the paper. And then this paper, I showed you last week, there's a die that cuts out that flower set. And then these dies are also with that set. That's that fabulous floret set I've been really showing you guys. So that uses the paper. Actually, this uses everything. The paper and the dies and the stamp set and the little gems. So that's that one. And then that's also with it. I love that stamp. So that's with that fabulous florets. And so I'll show you the candy cane in a minute because we're going to make the candy cane one. So we're going to make an aspen leaf one using paper from the Harvest paper. I figured even though these are acorns and birch trees don't have acorns, I thought the black and white would look really pretty together. So let's try it. All right. Oh, great. Nancy has the aspen tree set. Perfect. Excellent. Oh, good. Some good choices today. All right. So what I did, I kind of pre-did some stuff. You don't really need to see me cutting. So I just use a standard card base. This is thick white. So what is it? 5.5 by 8.5 scored in the middle, right? So standard card base. And then I already cut this one out. So I just put this on, make sure it was in the right direction. I just put this on just like that, ran it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and then it comes like that. Sometimes when you run it through, you lose a little bit of the fold, the scored fold. So I'll use my bone folder for this one. It flattens it out. All right, so there we go. So there's our card base. Put that aside because we don't need that. And I'm going to cut the paper. So I actually have it all written out. We're going to cut the DSP's Designer Series paper. We're going to cut it 4.5 by 5 1/4. I'll show you. We're going to score it at 1/2 inch. So depending on your direction of the paper, right? So I want it to go, this one really doesn't matter, but like this one does, would have mattered. So I'm going to cut, if this was in this direction, 4.5 is the width. I try to always say the width dimensions first, and then by 5 1/4. All right, so then you have this piece, which is too wide, but now we're going to score it at 1/2 inch, and I want it on the left side because it's going to, you can kind of see we're going to fold it. So just make sure that the 1/2 inch is on the left side of your paper. That score mark, so that gets folded like that. So that looks like more of a normal shape. So we have that fold right there. Okay, so then, oh, did I not cut an inside piece? I didn't. Okay, that's all right. I'm gonna use, where did that other white piece of paper go that I just had? Apparently, I didn't cut the inside because you need an inside layer, right? So I have this inside layer. I didn't have, oh, look at that. It's funny when you rediscover things. I actually made my original one, this is the original one, differently than I'm making it now. All right, I'll explain that in a second. Let me just finish this one. That actually might be better for you, Designer Series paper. Okay, so I'm just gonna use this. So your inside, following the directions I'm telling you right now, I might change it up, it's just like a 1 layer. So it's 4 inch by 5 1/4. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna glue this right in here. So it makes a fold. So actually I'll explain both ways what I did. And then you can decide which way you wanna do it. So this gets put in right, the white, it might be hard for you to see, but my fold is right here. So this edge abuts right up to that fold. So, in a way it's already a card right there. And so this, I was gonna go do a different color, but that's all right. We're gonna make it all kind of white on the inside. This is, I'm gonna put glue here, is gonna get glue right down there. This might be hard to see because it's white on white on white, but you'll see in a sec. So now we have, 1 layer, 2 layer, and then that's the inside of the card. Oh, I didn't poke out one of my pieces. I thought that looked funny. Here we go. I just think the white birch trees looks really pretty with that black background. And I know they're acorns, but that's okay. It's kind of like little fall forest. And so then I already stamped Happy Thanksgiving. I think I'm going to use the rectangle because there's a little bit too much white space on that one. I stamped that in Cajun Craze. And what I'm going to do, I was trying to think how I could decorate it. I have black and white, the gingham ribbon, which I love. And following kind of this sample, I folded over the Spool Party ribbon. So it was kind of like this. and I put my label on top. And I think that looks pretty, but because we have the yellow on the, or the curry on the inside, I thought we could color our ribbon. So I'm just going to do it actually right on this paper. So I think you guys know you can color your ribbon. Let me actually cut it so I know what size I want. With Blends markers to get whatever color you want. Let's see. Hello, Paula. Thanks for joining. Yeah, Mary Lou, it is simple to make, but different. Oh, I'm glad you like it. Now, I said I create, oh, look at the ribbon. Sometimes they, something must have the machine. So I want one piece. I don't want two pieces. I said I created this. Maybe I didn't, but I did come up with it in my own head. Whether or not someone else did too, I don't know. But I'm sharing it with you so you can make it too. All right, that looks a little bit better. So I'm just going to take my brush tip from I think this is, what color is this? This is my dark daffodil. I figured that was close to curry. And I'm just going to color right on my ribbon. And that will match the inside of my card. And then get a little color on the outside. Oh yeah, Kim, I'm glad you like, yeah, it is, it's kind of a cool window. I'll show you the other samples again in case you're joining in late. And then we're going to make a candy cane one too. Figured we could make two. So the Blends is nice because it goes through it, and so you only have to color one side. It's a little damp, but it will dry. But I'm going to just use it damp. So then, and it will dry a little bit lighter than it is. Let's see, it just gives a little more color. So I'm going to use, just to hold it down, a glue dot. I always forget. One of my glue dots is on the outside and one is on the inside. This one's on the outside. So I'm going to put the, oh, look at, yeah, some of that Blends marker transferred over. Let's actually do it this way while it's drying. Put another dot there, so hold it down. It's wet. Oh, I lost it. Oh, it's on my hand. There we go. All right, and so then I'm going to use, oh, you know what? I forgot I was going to, I'll just do it attached. I was going to tie a green bow around it. Just to give it a little bit more color. This is from that sports, I forget now what it was called, that sports set. It came with like a triple pack of twine, red, blue, or red and white and blue and green. My fingers aren't working. There you go. Just want to make sure I have it where I want it. Okay, well, it's going to go right there. And I'll put another glue dot under it to keep it in place. This stuff I usually do ahead of time, but I wanted you to see how I colored the ribbon. All right. So let me get another glue dot. Oh, good. I'm glad. Thank you, Nate. I like to show you things that look hard but are easy. So I'm glad that is the case. All right. So I put the glue dot on the tree so it didn't stick through. And the same thing, I'll fiddle with that bow in a second. I'm going to, I have little mini dimensionals. And so let's put them on the paper. It doesn't always work when you put them on the ribbon. see if that's enough. I think I can put one up here, and then that will be 3 points of contact. Actually, I could put another one. You just have the holes on the birch tree, so I don't want it to stick to the paper underneath. All right, so I'll stick and it looks, look how messy that looks. But hold on, it's gonna look pretty. As we cover up that mess. And I'll fuss with the bow just a little bit, a little smaller. That looks much better. So happy Thanksgiving. And then it's, you know, you can see that what I'll probably end up doing is cutting another rectangle and gluing it there, or maybe even another message. And I did that with the gnome run, right? I kind of covered the messy stuff. So I'll probably cover that. I just didn't bring up another rectangle. So happy Thanksgiving, the acorns. And then I brought up, where is it? I actually brought up the candy cane set because I thought this still works for Thanksgiving. May the good times of today become the cherished memories of tomorrow. So it doesn't have to just be Christmas. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys think it's easy, but it's impressive. My things are really stuck. Great. And I brought up a block today, unlike last week. And I brought up some Cajun Craze, because that will match the ink on the front. Let's hope I do this. I haven't used this one yet, so hopefully I put the stickers on straight. Oh, okay. So I think that's a nice Thanksgiving card. But I just love the window part. Okay, so let me show you the candy cane one. Let me make my space a little bit neater. Oh, and this is where I got Happy Thanksgiving from the Painted Pheasant. For those of you in club, we're going to use this on Monday. I'm excited to show you a fun card. And I will film a video of what we're going to do so you can watch it later. For those who aren't in club. All right, let's just move that stuff aside. So here's the candy cane one. And I did a little hiding of messy stuff on this one too. So, so here's the window, and I'll show you, but I did an extra candy cane just to hide that messy part. So you're gonna see it looks like a really complicated Christmas card, but it's not. And then this is in the holiday set. So actually it's part of this suite. And these are the dies. I'll just show you just so you know kind of what you get. So you get this fun, it's just a one piece that makes this cutout. And there's lots of things you can do. You can put 2 layers together, you can weave it, you can leave it. So I haven't used it a whole lot yet, but stay tuned because I'm going to be using it more now that Christmas is getting closer. You get 2 candy canes that match the 2 candy cane stamps in opposite directions, which is really nice. You get 2 leaves, mistletoe, and you just get one, but they're both the same, and they cut that one. And you get this little label thing that I think I showed it to you. We made those candy canes, and it did that label. That was a few weeks ago. All right, so I have a lot of my pieces done. So let me show you this, and then I'll show you how I altered my directions. Okay, so I have all my pieces, my candy cane, my mistletoe, my label. Those are already pre-cut. I actually already pre-cut this too. So I did this, it's 4.5 wide by 5 1/4, and I scored it on the left side at that 1/2 inch. So like that. So just like I did that other card. Now, if you wanted to do it, I'll just show you now how I did it on this one, where I actually have to tell you, it's a little bit neater. This is the one I just made. So it's kind of a prettier seam here. Whereas this one, I just did the opposite. So I cut the pattern paper 4 inches across by 5 1/4. And then I just extended my middle piece rather than this be 4 by 5 1/4. I did the inside by 4 1/2 by 5 1/4, and I scored it there. And so I just, instead of doing it, gluing it this way, it would have been like the opposite, right? I would, if this was the top, I would have just done it this way, but then you would have that seam, which is right here. Hopefully that makes sense. I think it's neater this way. The advantage of doing it this way is the designer series paper is cut at the 4-inch wide, which works because you have a 12-inch wide paper, so you waste less, or you have more usable paper. So you decide, but that's kind of what I did there. Hopefully that makes sense. Oh, great. You like the candy cane card, Michelle. I have this set, totally could do this. Oh, you totally could do this. Copy it exactly or make your own twist on it. All right, so this is going to be my front. So I'm going to put glue right on this little tab. Hi, Anita, for joining. Nice to see you. I'll show you the cards again, but you might have to, depending on when you join, you can go back and watch the replay. But it's a very easy technique, but it looks complicated. I think you'll like it. Oops. So I'm just putting that, and I like to fold this up just to make sure I have my base right snug against that fold. Okay, so I already cut this piece out, and this, again, standard size card front. And I'm going to, where'd my bone folder go? I'm just gonna flip this over and give it a good burnish because that sits better. All right, so I'm gonna just put that right in there. So all of you who have told me, and many too, I have so much paper, I love to buy paper, I don't like to cut it, or I have so much, I don't know what to do with it. I think this is a good way of using it because it really showcases the paper. You just want to make sure that you like both sides to go with the card that you're making. All right, so this one I just did the red and white candy canes. This one has the green, red, and white candy canes. And then I'm going to use this candy cane. I'll leave this here so you can see. This candy cane is going to go here. And so how I attached that was kind of put it where I want it. I'm just going to lift it up a little bit and put a little dab of glue. And it's gonna go a little dab of glue here because you don't want the glue to go through because then it's gonna stick to your paper. All right, so like that. And then I'm gonna open it up. So I could leave it like that, but since I have the reverse of the candy cane, I'm just gonna put that one on top. And then, you know, your candy cane is sealed. So kind of hiding the work. Like that. You could even write a message on the inside if you wanted. You could write little messages on the inside here. And then we'll just put that down. I have my 3 pieces of mistletoe. And here we go. Candy cane wishes and mistletoe kisses. So that will go right here, just like that one. I'm just going to do the same thing. So I'm just going to put those down, kind of like that. So that will go right on top. Put glue. Glue. This is why I like the glue so much too. It's just much easier than if I was using the tape runner. And then I want a little glue, or I want to see a little bit less of this one, so I'm just going to hide it a little bit more, like that. So then this is going to go in here, and so what I'm going to do is just put a dimensional right there. So just one's fine. My glue's still not dry. Put that right there. And then we'll just add just a couple of these red, looking for, there it is, just the red gems, just to give it a little sparkle. I'm just going to copy what I did here, but you could put them all over on the stripes. Let's see. Kind of fussy with those ones up top. I was trying to decide if I wanted one more. Let's just throw one more on there. Okay, and on the inside I just did a simple stamping, so I'll just do that real quick. Excellent. I'm glad you like it. So Christmas cheer. And then this I did the sweet sorbet to match the candy cane paper. It's sweet sorbet, it's not real red. And same with the card base, is sweet sorbet. Actually, look at, I didn't even plan it. It's the same color as my new shirt. I always wear navy blue. When I was going back to upload some of the videos, like I think every video I had navy blue ones. So I purposely bought a color and I didn't realize it was sweet sorbet. All right, so that is the candy cane card. So I'll go back and I'll show you all the ones just so you can see the different versions again. All right, let's move this stuff over. So my first one I did was the plain one, right? Because that's where I started with that Ring of Fire paper. And then I just put some, because I couldn't include stamping, that was for that senior class. And then I kind of stepped it up a little bit with some words on the front. Little snowy mountains, and some snowflakes on the inside. And then the one we just made, stick with the aspen tree here, is pretty similar to this one, except for I colored on the ribbon. I just realized this is a little crooked, but that's okay. I am going to hide that because to me that's a little bit messy. So I will just put another white, the same rectangle, I'll just put it on that side. And then that's the inside, but I just showed you this is a little crisper by cutting the designer series paper by 4.5 rather than the back paper, and then just scoring it on the 1/2 inch. And then the gnome one, can I use the diorama dies? So you could use circles, you could use anything. You could use a flower, or I was going to do it, I never did it, that forever fern. If you have it, it's a nice big fern. That should work really pretty. So I cut out the gnome, and this one again I texturized with the wood grain embossing folder, and I hid my work, so to speak. I covered it up with the inside gnome. I did that one. And then this one used the new Finding Florets collection. So I cut out the flower with my die that matched up the it's actually this paper. Here it is, same flower. I used some of the dies that they had just to add some accents because this one's a little fancier. And then I added the Celebrate. I could have attached it, but I kind of like how it's up. And again, this work really didn't get cleaned up. I guess I could have cut another flower to put on the inside. We'll see if I do that or not. And then that's for a really pretty birthday card. And then the candy cane I just showed you. That's the one we just did. So that's the final one. There we go. So I'm calling it a 2-layer window card. I'll take really pretty pictures and then post them too so you have good samples to kind of copy by. And then, yeah, I think that's it. And then the last thing, I'll just, in case you missed it at the beginning, I'm having my November mystery host party. And so to kind of like how we used to have the parties, you know, I mentioned like Tupperware parties or Pampered Chef parties, that kind of thing. We did Stampin' Up! Ones too, which we still can do. If you want to do one, we could totally still do one. But this way it connects kind of all miscellaneous orders together to make like a party order. And so on November 29th, I will randomly choose a host, and I might just come online. I've done it before and picked a name out of the hat. It's kind of the easiest way to do it. And so all the orders will be pulled together, and whoever is chosen as the host will get free products in whatever amount is based on all the orders together. Right now it's at $30, but I know that will go up. I know we'll get more orders. So I'm hoping to get that nice and high. So it'll be a nice kind of, just a fun thing to do. But you need to use this host code. So I'll post it on Facebook too. I sent it in my email yesterday, how to apply a host code, and a lot of you know how to do it, but that's the host code that you need to use. Alrighty. Just checking over to make sure there's any comments, any questions I need to answer. I think I got them all. Looks like you liked it. You liked the style. So make some cards. Mary Lou's really good at this. Right after the live, she makes her cards and she posted them on my VIP page. So definitely do that. I will post a link in the comments. If you're not part of my VIP page, which is very important, Paper Crafters, I'll post a link so you can join. And then you can post your out cards. The whole point of that, it's actually technically a group page, is for us to kind of share with each other. It's not all me putting stuff out there like this page. So it's just, we can see what each other makes. And I tend to do my style, but it's nice to see other styles because not everyone does the same thing. Alrighty. I'm glad you like it. All right, Mary Lou, I am already choosing my paper to make one. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. So yeah, I will post a link in the comments to my VIP page. So if you're not a VIPer, definitely join because it's open to anybody. You don't have to, there's no requirements or anything, except for I really like people to engage, to post, to share, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, let's see. If anyone is a veteran out there, thank you very much for your service. We're going to celebrate that in just another 2 days. Or your husbands or your spouses, wives. I think it's mostly women who watch. But thank you for your service, and I will see you guys next week. Who knows what we're doing, but we'll come up with something good. I love doing these lives because they challenge me to think of something new to show you guys. So I appreciate that. All right, have a wonderful week. Have a fabulous weekend, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Bye-bye.